Hi everyone, this is Corey, the Uper Linen Lady, and this is a special episode of What's Sold because I'm only going to show you my high dollar sales that have taken place in the past month or so, maybe about 2 months. So these sales are going to be $45 or more, and when I say $45, I mean the gross cost. So with eBay, it will not include shipping. If I have something, say $45, then it's $45 plus shipping. With Etsy, it will be the shipping included just because that's how I do sell on Etsy. Now, I do sell with shipping on eBay because with free shipping, it would really hurt my net profit. Especially when it comes to returns, because I do offer free returns, meaning that I do pay for the shipment. So when they send it back, I pay for their post. And yes, you do lose money this way. However, you make more money because you do accept returns and you don't give the buyers any flack when they want to return something. You make it a very easy process for them. And so, yeah, this is why I don't do it on eBay. Now with Etsy, I have less returns. And it's just the way the platforms are. I'm not faulting any of them. However, on Etsy, if I do have a return, then the buyer pays for the shipping back to me. If it's damaged, then sure, I'll just, give them the whole amount once they show me proof that the item is damaged, because if they're going to send it back and I throw it away anyway, then it doesn't make any sense for me to charge to make them send it back to me. And then with Poshmark, of course, Poshmark, they have their shipping already incorporated. So when someone pays for something for Poshmark, and the fee for selling on Poshmark is 20%. So they're going to take that 20% off, and you don't even see the amount paid for shipping because Poshmark pays for all of that. And I have even rarer returns on Poshmark because they don't like returns on that platform. They would rather you reposh it, just sell it on your Posh account. And then if they do okay a return though, Poshmark will pay for the shipping. They don't charge either person. And then Mercari, I also have free shipping on Mercari because I don't really get a lot of returns on Mercari either. eBay has a high return rate because eBay makes it easy for buyers to return items. So if they don't like it, if they have some buyer's guilt, if they were just, drinking a lot one night and decided to order all this stuff and then regretted it, things happen, guys. So I just look at it, if I do lose money with returns, it's just the cost of doing business for me, because eBay is still my highest platform that I get paid from. eBay, I make the bulk of my sales on eBay. The other three just do not compare. So yes, I will do what eBay wants me to do when it comes to returns. I make, if someone, when they do return an item, sometimes they kind of exaggerate it so it doesn't make it look like their fault. eBay has a very easy procedure as well with their shipping practices. If the buyer, for instance, says, well, this wasn't, the pictures are not the same, or the pictures hid things, and this item has a stain or is dirty or it has holes. Now, if I do not agree with that, then I tell eBay, okay, I'm not going to give them their shipping back. I'm not going to refund that. And then if they don't like that, they can repeal it. And then what eBay will do is they will give the buyer their original shipping back, but they will not charge me for it. So eBay is fair when it comes to that, everybody. So, all right, let's get into this high dollar sales. It's not going to be in any order today. I just want to show you that it is possible to make good money as a reseller. So, okay, let's jump in. Okay, the first one I wanted to show you all today was this Vintage Accents wall shelf, and I actually sold two. They were both new in the package, and I had a 15% off sale. Actually, I still do have a 15% off sale, and these sold for $45.98 together. I bought them, I believe I bought them at my local Goodwill for $4, so $2 each, and my net profit was $32.07. I had these shelves for 4 months, and they're very, they gave me this 90s vibe. They were, you know, like the resin type of material. They had the flowers. So yeah, definitely 90s. And I sold this to a person in the UK. And here is a vintage Barbara Demery ceramic glazed studio square bowl. So this is an art bowl, art pottery, and it is also vintage 90s. You can tell from the pastels and just the design itself. Now, I did get a best offer, $45 for this. I did take it. I bought this for $1.33, probably at my local Goodwill. And now, you all, I had this for 4 years. So I would not pick this up again. And I'm really, really glad that it's sold. My net profit on this was actually $48.67. So I was happy with the profit, just not so happy with the time it took. And I have sold these before because I had 10 of these bowls. This is Lenox Avondale. These bowls were a set of 4. They're bone china. They just have these white textured stripes. There's really nothing special about them except they're very well made, and they are from Lenox. This buyer paid the full price of $49.99. I bought these for $1 a piece, so $4.24 at my local Salvation Army. My net profit was $44.17. I had these for 2 months, and now I am all out of my Avondale bowls. Now, this one was a beautiful, beautiful sale, everybody, and I bought this rug for $8 at an estate sale. Now, it did not sell for $355.98. I wish it would have. However, I just kind of made up that price because comps were hard to get a hold of. I mean, this is a very unique, one-of-a-kind, antique Victorian jacquard rug, 120 by 58, so it was also pretty large. But it was, I mean, it was antique, and so it was used, and it was, I mean, beautiful colors, not really threadbare, but faded, I would definitely say. And I had this green motif right in the center of it. Really a beautiful, beautiful piece to have these in my house. I got a best offer of $190. So my net profit was $160.86. I had this rug for 1.5 years. And, you know, I fully expected to have this rug for a period of time because I did price it high and because I know that antique rugs are really not trending right now. My next item is actually 4 items. They were 4 curtains, luxury collection, velvet damask panels. So these were pretty heavy panels. And they were $80, 20 a piece. I bought them all together for $12. My net profit was $63.76, and these took 10 months to sell. Now you might have seen these on another video as well. But yeah, it's just a nice cream gold color with the damask. Very nice curtains. This is a Euler's Disc Spinning Science Intro to Art toy. It's new. It was new, sealed, from 1998. I bought like 6 of these at a St. Vincent de Paul, about an hour south of me. I bought them for about $4.61 a piece. This one was my last one, and it sold for $85.99, so I made a profit of $70.49. Now, These science toys, they absolutely sell. And I love finding them sealed. I love just finding these, because they're not priced very high at the thrift stores. So yeah, this was a great sale, and I don't know if I said it, but it took a year to sell. And here's a Lenox Platinum Series musical ice skating couple. I thought this was a really cute figure. It was it's a music box, right? And yeah, Lenox has some great figurines, everyone. Not all are created equal, but I will say that the buyer paid full price at $48.99. I bought this at my local Goodwill for $7.50. And my net profit was $35.80. And I had this for 6 months. So I will tell you guys, at my local Goodwill, if I buy over $50, I get a coupon for 50% off my next time I go in. So I always make sure I have one of those coupons on me. So that means I also make sure that every time I go into Goodwill, I spend $50 or more. Sometimes it's hard, it really is. So this at Goodwill was $15. So it's wonderful, and I love that I can get it for half price. And they also take different points off too, like at the register sometimes I'll have $4, sometimes $6, and so I just use that for my purchase. They take the $6 off my purchase, so I even get more of a discount. So I love my Goodwill. And here we have some Waverly Valances. These have a great toile pattern. Now toile, if you're not familiar with it, is the pattern where it's like a French countryside, right? So this is more of like the toile in a cameo pattern. It was really just unique, and I had 2 of these panels. I got a best offer for $50 for both, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? So they sold for $50. I bought them. They cost $4.22 in total. And my net profit was $39.96, and I had these for 4 months. These are beautiful curtains. I knew these would sell. I love the pattern. They wouldn't fit in my home, like the aesthetic, but I do love that pattern. Okay, so we're gonna go into Poshmark, and I had to show you this rug, y'all, that I sold. This rug is an antique. Now you can tell antique rugs by their feel. They're not thick. A lot of them are not thick. They're woven. They have usually like a woven with a jacquard or a brocade, okay, or on a loom. And look at this pattern. So this was a pretty narrow, like a runner. And I also put mantle scarf on this too, because so only one side had the fringe. Well, I'm sorry, 3 sides had the fringe, and I'm trying to see if I have a better picture. Here we go. So look, it's like a section had been cut, but I'm thinking maybe because it lined a wall or like a fireplace, right? It was set right next to the hearth. So I looked at I dated it. I knew it was antique just because of the texture and the design. Look at the paisley in there, and you see the Art Deco type motif here on the side. The fringe, of course, was worn from age and time. So yeah, this was an absolutely beautiful, beautiful rug. Now, I had this listed, I believe, for $160. I bought it at an estate sale for $3, everybody. Sometimes at these estate sales, I really think that when they don't know what they have, they just kind of put a random price on it. And I love it that they do that, because I get these things at such a great price. So yeah, it was a Poshmark sale. So they took 20% out, right, which was $20, because it sold for $100. Someone offered me $100, and yes, I took it. I paid $3 for it, so my net profit was $77, and I waited 10 months for someone to buy this. But yeah, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, look at the animals in this. It's just so cool. And yarn sells all day long if you have the right yarn to sell. So this is spindle yarn, 2 skeins, merino wool, and cashmere mulberry silk. So this had the merino, cashmere, and silk going for it. And it had a nice deep pink color. This sold for $54 on Poshmark. I bought this for $2 whole. I don't know where, probably at my local Goodwill. And my profit was $41.20. And I did have this though for a year and a half. Maybe because it was priced a little bit up, but that's okay. Sometimes you just have to wait for the right buyer, and I don't mind waiting, especially when it's something that is easy to store like yarn. I put it in my yarn box and I just wait for someone to buy it. Now here is a woman's vintage rabbit fur coat. This was vintage and it had belt loops on the sides. It didn't have a belt, but someone could easily add a belt, to this. Any type of belt, several types I can think of. And it had pockets, but it was just a gorgeous color. I mean, it has these red tones to it. Let me show you the back of this. Just gorgeous. This sold for $50. I bought it for $7 at my local Goodwill. My net profit was $33, and I had this for a month. So I might have underpriced this a little bit. I do not sell a lot of fur. I just, a lot of it doesn't catch my eye. A friend of mine who works at Goodwill showed me this coat, and just the way it looked, the color and the style, I said, yes, okay, I'll buy it. So I will have to look at fur coats more often. So here is, let me get a better picture of this here. So here's a beautiful oil lamp, and it's very, very well made. The globe on top was a very thick glass. I don't know if you can tell from this picture here. And then the base was more of a lighter, thinner, like opaque milk glass almost. Now this did, this did sell for $71.09, so there's a little bit of a discount. And this is Etsy, so this was shipping that's included. I bought this for $5 at an estate sale, like I said. They didn't have very many things at this estate sale, and it was a family-run estate sale. So I actually bought 3 lamps. I bought 2 electric Victorian-style hurricane lamps, which sold right away. And then this oil lamp was for $5, and yeah, it sold for $71.09. My net total on this was $49.61, and I had this for 6 months. So since it was an oil lamp, it did take a little bit longer to sell. And finally, I have this beautiful sweater. It's a vintage woman's Carina cardigan made of wool. It has the beautiful metal clasps, I should say, not clamps, but clasps. Excuse me, I do have a little bit of a cold. This has the Nordic or Alpine trim. And this sweater, I'll show you by the tag. Here's the Carina. And it was made in Finland. Here we go. 100% wool and made at a village in Finland. I saw this, thought it was absolutely gorgeous. And I believe, well, actually, I bought this. I won it in an online auction. This was like a year ago, so I'm not sure what all sold at this online auction, but I believe there were a lot of Scandinavian textiles. So I think I got some tablecloths and just some little like napkins and hand towels. But there was definitely this person who had this auction. They were definitely Scandinavian because they had this beautiful sweater among other things from Sweden, Norway, and Finland. So it's just kind of interesting. So at the online auction, everything I bought, it came out to $3.33 an item that I listed. So this sold actually on a little bit of a sale. I think it was 15% off, $59.39. My net profit was $39.32, and I had this for a year. So a lot of my items, they are bread and butter. A lot of my linens, they go for between $10 and $20. Sometimes they even go for less than $10. And I would rather have a high sale than a low dollar sale. I think everyone would agree on that. You just have to, sometimes you take the lesser amount with the higher amount, especially when you have bundles. Like if I buy an estate bundle, if I go to an estate sale and everything's in a box for $20, well, I'm going to list the lower price items as well as the higher price items too, because it goes towards my profit, right? And it covers that inventory cost. So I don't mind it too much. As long as I have enough space to store it, I wouldn't store a lot of large things that were less than $20, I think. Well, I will tell you that, but I think I need to get away from that. So that is the video. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much for being a part of my channel. Leave me a comment, say hello, because I'm going to say it back, and I will catch you on the next video.